Hello, welcome back. I am so glad you could join me for another reading. Uh, yeah, wow. You know what? I've been doing this over probably, like 75 episodes now, and I still have no idea. We're probably closer to 50 episodes. I still have no idea how to open these. I should have written a script by now. But anyway, special thank you to my Patreon supporters for pledging to support such high quality content. But I've got my mug. I've got my book with my bookmark from Belligerently Bookish. And I think we're going to jump right back in to The Legend of Luke by Brian Jacques, Chapter 22. The crew of the Sena spent the rest of the afternoon gathering produce which Bo had grown. They carried pears, apples, wild grapes, mushrooms, carrots, and all manner of fresh food back to the ship. Luke was wondering whether he would regret his decision, because the hare never once stopped chattering. "Heave ho, me hearties, that's the ticket. What? I say there, what a jolly little ship! Absolutely tip-top! Far nicer than the great old red monstrosity that delivered me here. By the left, I should say so." They were filling pails from a lively trickle of fresh water running down the cliff to face the shore. Forming a chain, the crew passed it aboard, where it was emptied into the casks to top up the Sena's water supply. Bo was chattering on as he shoved another pail beneath the running water. "Oh, yes, this is the stuff to put fur on your tail. What? Good fresh water, sweet and clean. Drink it myself, morning, noon, and night. Feel those muscles. See how my eyes sparkle? Have you ever seen teeth as white as mine? What?" Luke pulled him to one side. "Bo, did you say a great red ship brought you here?" "Indeed it did, sir. Filthy great thing, name of the Gore-Leech." Luke's paw tightened like a vice over Bo's. "Tell me everything you know about the red ship." Bo rubbed his paw and looked quizzically at Luke. "Well, of course, old chap. No need to crush a fellow's paw. It all started some seasons ago when yours truly got the jolly old urge to go seafaring. Shipped out on a small merchant craft, trading round the coast, Good crew, couple of shrews, some hedgehogs, and a mouse or two. We were doing quite well until one night our ship was lying at anchor, and we were all in our hammocks snoring. Well, the Gore-Leech sailed up and took us by surprise, rammed our little boat with its great iron spikes, sunk us like a stone, what? Sea rogues everywhere, slew most of the crew, took the remainder captive. I'll never forget the captain of the red ship, a stout Viludaskar, a cruel, murdering villain. I spent 2 seasons chained to an oar in the red ship's middle decks, starved, whipped, kicked, and beaten. Still got the scars, if you'd like to see 'em. I was the only beast out of my old crew left alive after a while. Then I fell sick, too weak and thin to be of further use at the oar. Viludaskar had me thrown overboard. Probably thought I was about to die, so the fish and tides could finish me. Ha! But I came off stern stock. My old nanny could have told him that I was a close Fortingham, and we don't die too easily, I washed up here, and this has been my home ever since. Islands full of vermin, though. Sea rats and such, deserters, runaway, and some who've been marooned. Evil lot. The rogues would have skinned and scoffed me, but I spent my seasons here living in secret, growing my own tucker and fighting 'em from the shadows and tree cover. That's when I became Waragula, Purpleface, regular one-hair army, what?" Luke smiled in admiration at the brave hare. "You did well, Bo. Tell me, have you ever sighted Viludaskar's vessel again?" "Rather. Passed here 3 moons ago. Put in for water and sailed off bound south. I hid on the cliff tops and watched the red ship come and go. Do you know your ship's the first decent craft with an honest crew I've seen put in here? Jolly lucky for me, I'd say. What? Screeching war cries cut the conversation short, and Bo hurled himself at Luke, knocking him to one side. A rough, sharp spear buried itself in the sand where Luke stood a moment before. Down the steps in the cliff face, a huge mob of ragged vermin were dashing toward the Sena's crew. The warrior mouse acted swiftly. Grabbing the spear, he ran forward, shaking it to feel the balance. From halfway between the tide line and the stairs, he made a mighty throw. A sea rat, slightly ahead of the rest, took the spear through his middle and toppled over, screaming. Those behind could not stop their charge and stumbled over the slain rat. Luke's roar snapped the crew out of their shock. "Back to the ship! On the double!" The vermin who had tripped over their fallen comrade did not have far to fall. They sprawled in the sand momentarily, then scrambled up and gave chase after the mice. Weapons drawn, Luke, Verg, and Bo stood in the shallows, hurrying the crew past them. "Get aboard quick, mates! Loose up all sails and anchor!" Cordell, Deno, and Doolam helped the first crew over the side and set to, turning the windlass to haul up the anchor. Wild with their desire to capture a ship, vermin thundered recklessly into the water. Luke swung back and forth with his sword, slaying and wounding wherever he struck. Verg hit out with his spear, and Bo went at them, a club in each paw. "Ah, back, you scum!" Other vermin were coming in from both sides now to cut off the trio from their vessel. Aboard the Sena, Call and some others went to work. Hanging over the stern, they whizzed arrows and slingstones at the mob in the shallows. It was Cardo who saved the day, though. Grabbing an axe, he chopped the rear anchor free of its rope. Then, heaving until he had pulled fair enough from the windlass, the resourceful mouse cast the thick line into the sea. "Grab hold, mates! We'll haul ye aboard!" Luke held off the closest foes whilst Bo seized the rope and knotted it into a wide loop, which he threw over Verg and Luke with one wide cast, then ducked inside to join them. Bound together within the noose of anchor rope, they struck out at the surrounding attackers, with Verg bellowing back to the ship. "Heave away, mates! Fast as you like!" Billowing sails caught the wind, whipping the Sena out to sea. Every available crew mouse bent his back at the windlass spokes, making it fly round. Luke smashed a spearhead with the swipe of his sword blade, but before he could strike at its owner, his footpaws left the seabed, and he was swept away backwards with Verg and Bo pressed either side of him. Even spraying seawater sloshing at his mouth, he could not silence the hair. "Fare thee well, vermin! Goodbye, chaps!" With the Sena's outward momentum and the windlass winding them in, they soon outdistanced the maddened vermin. Verg felt his back bump hard against the ship's side as Bo hooted. "Steady on, chaps! We ain't the blinking enemy. Would you mind letting us live a trifle longer? The seawater tastes awful foul." Willing paws hauled them aboard, and Luke wriggled free of the rope. They stood astern watching the island recede as the enraged mob fought among themselves in the shallows. Luke put aside his blade and took off his sopping tunic. "How did we do, Cardo? Every beast safe?" "Aye, they're all alive, mate. 1 or 2 wounds. I took a slingstone right across me paw myself." Verg inspected the cut on his friend's paw. "Nasty. Is that the paw you used to cook with?" Cardo smiled cheerfully. "No." Verg gave a disappointed sigh. "What a pity." The crew laughed heartily at the indignant Cardo. Bo looked from one to the other, unable to fathom the joke. "What's so funny? Is the blighter an awful cook?" This caused further laughter and more indignation from Cardo. "Take no notice of 'em, Bo. They're all lousy cooks. You'll be sorry you signed aboard this ship, mate, especially when you taste the grub. It's dreadful. Even the fishes throw the scraps back aboard." Immediately the hare cast off his raggy garb and began wrapping a length of canvas about his waist like an apron. "Lucky you found me then, chaps. Aboard my old ship I was voted the choicest chef to be chosen from all of chief chefs." Cole nudged the hare. "Bet you couldn't say that again." Bo dismissed him with an airy twiddle of both ears. "Couldn't I, though? I was the chosen chief of all choosers. No, wait a tick. I was choked by a chosen chief choked. Well, no, that ain't right." Luke interrupted him. "If you can cooks, then stow the blather and get to the galley. Cardo, you can be Bo's assistant. Deno, tend to the wounded. You were always good at healing. Cole, you take the tiller. Keep that western sun at your right shoulder. We're following the red ship south. The rest of you trim the sails and see she moves along steady." Bo turned out to be an excellent cook. That night he served the crew of the Sena a meal to gladden their hearts. Being a hare, he cooked victuals in generous portions, so there was more than enough for all. "Right-ho, I know this will be wasted on you famine-faced chaps, but here's tonight's menu. What? Starters, cheese and onion turnovers with my own flaky pastry, followed by shrimp and mushroom bake and a parsley and turnip sauce. For afters there's a pear and plum pudding. To drink, mint and dandelion tea, or some rather good cider I found in your ship's stores. Hold hard a moment there, don't touch a bally crumb till I've said grace, you savages! Luke lowered his eyes, admonishing the crew. He's right. No need to get sloppy and bad manners, 'cause we're not at home. Carry on, Bo. The hare intoned the grace at tremendous speed. Fate and fortune smile on us, and out this crew take care, but let no greedy robber try to guzzle up my share. Before any beast could raise an eye or pick up a spoon, the hare was tucking in as if there was no tomorrow. Verg passed the turnovers to Luke. Our cook can certainly shift victuals, mate. Luke sniffed the hot turnovers appreciatively. Bo can do what he likes, as long as he keeps serving up meals as good as this one. Aye, better put some aside for Cordell. He's on tiller watch. The Seine ploughed steadily south on fair seas as under a wandering moon. Weary after the day's exertions, her crew lay down to rest, though food seemed to have the opposite effect on the garrulous cook. Bo quoted endless rhymes, danced and sang ceaselessly. Now that he was not alone but in the company of friends, Luke sent him on deck to guard the tiller, and he did a double watch, serenading the sea and the night skies. Doolam wadded his cloak about both ears, complaining bitterly. A good cook he might be, but a tuneful singer he ain't. Sounds like some beast attacking a plank with a rusty saw out there. Give your gob a rest, will ya, Bo? But insults and pleas had no effect on the off-key warbler. Oh, flunky dear, tum-tum, the good ship Flinky Dog, set sails with a crew of fishes on a fat old Captain Frog. Oh, diddle-de-die, make way, the frog said to the fishes. All fins on deck and use your tails to wash these dirty dishes. Oh, skiddle-de-doo-de-dee, a fig for you, the fish crew boldly cried. Just tuck 'em in the ocean, and they're washed up by the side. 'Tis mutiny, oh woe is me, the frog did croak so sad. If I'd a crew of boilers crabs, they'd not behave so bad. 'Twas after dark, a passing shark heard what was going on, so for his tea impatiently he ate up everyone. Oh, goodness me, oh, the shark smiled like a day. I can't abide a feckless frog, nor fish who won't obey. Bo neatly dodged an apple core, flung at him from the cabin. His ears stood up indignantly. Rotten bounders! Fancy chucking missiles at a chap who's doing his best level to sing, you ungrateful lots, to sleep, you cads. He was answered by an irate bellow. You great lanky lop-eared breeze barrel, shut up! Bo lay back on the deck, tending the tiller with a long footpaw. A wink's as good as a note to me, old lad. If you don't appreciate good music, then I'll withdraw the privilege of my melodious meanderings. But I'll finish this ditty first. Stay calm, there's only another 46 verses to go. And that is where we're going to end this chapter, partially so that I don't have to keep singing as Bo. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the reading. As always, huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and I love you all. And with that, if you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe in the various, Facebook groups and whatnot. I hope I see you guys again here next week. I hope you have a good week. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Bye, guys.